Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So, about 5 years ago today, notorious financier and predator Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his jail cell awaiting trial in Manhattan for multiple charges of sex trafficking. And from that day, there has been conspiracies nonstop about what really happened there, why it happened. Of course, the most infamous, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself, that the Clintons were the ones who really did it, that they're the ones who turned off the cameras instead of Hitman, and all sorts of stuff. But I think the weirdest one to me is that Trump is going to release the Epstein files. I heard that of course, this happened during his presidency. And I still hear it today that, once Trump gets back into office, he's going to release those files. We're going to drain the swamp. But I still don't understand why people believe this when Trump himself said he wouldn't release these files. It's not speculation. This is from a direct interview. You don't have to listen to me say it.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah,
Would you declassify JFK files?
yeah.
Would
I
you,
did. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff
Yeah.
with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore
yeah,
trust?
I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
What an odd thing to say.
I didn't know you were going to be talking about this.
And I would agree. Such an odd thing to say. No, I thought we were supposed to be taking these people out no matter what. That, if you harm children, this is one of the worst crimes you could do. You spent all this time for the past however long calling anybody that looks visibly gay a groomer, but now you have the opportunity to take down a huge ring of this, and now you don't want to. The only reason I could think of is that you might be a little bit personally involved in this, and sure enough, that does seem to be the case with Trump. I have no ill will for any of the people who are on these logs to be found out. That doesn't bother me in the slightest because I have morals. I think that children shouldn't be harmed in this way, no matter who you are or how much you pay for it. But people like Donald Trump seem to get away with this stuff. They can bribe off people or pay off stuff to be done out of court. And recent court documents have been released showing a case that was thrown out and showing in no kind words that Donald Trump did force children to perform sexual acts on him, that Donald Trump did force himself onto one of these children without protection, and that Donald Trump did throw money at them to get an abortion. Some people would call this pedocon theory, that any conservative figurehead or anybody who espouses conservative beliefs about protecting children and keeping children safe have these sorts of skeletons in their closet. And it certainly seems that way. For the past month or so, we've been having these revelations about certain men of high station, whether they be streaming personalities or musicians or politicians, that they talk about keeping the kids safe, leaving the kids alone as one of their hammer home points. And now all of a sudden we have documentation that you're leaving messages with Jeffrey Epstein on multiple occasions. That little black book of his that everybody said needs to be released so we can have these people brought to justice. It looks like you're in here a lot of times. Now, this won't come as a shock to most of you, considering how many times these guys have been pictured together. But these guys are buddies. They they hung out all the time. Perhaps when Donald Trump meets his maker, they can join hands again in hell. But it should come as no surprise to you that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein are closely linked together with these flight logs. All these rich New York guys, they pal around together. They got their hands in a lot of pies so they can keep eyes on each other. But they also have a lot of things in common. And I think it'd be good for us to probe into this a little more, to actually bring to light the things that Donald Trump has done to these children. Like I said before, I have no issue with everybody who's involved in these logs, for everybody who was involved with Jeffrey Epstein going to his little island for those parties that were harming those children, to be brought to justice. The full extent of the law needs to be brought against them. I don't know why this would be a controversial take to have, but I don't find it surprising when it's somebody that you like, when it's your guy who's in trouble. Now all of a sudden it's a conspiracy, it's the deep state conspiring against you, when you are the deep state. You are the swamp that needed to be drained this whole time, and somehow you've tricked a large enough contingency of people to think you're on their side. When you've been flying around on these private jets going to that, special temple island that Epstein owned. It seems very straightforward to me, but we live in a topsy-turvy time where anything can happen. So maybe some more documents will get released soon. Maybe Trump's supporters will finally start to realize that this guy's up to no good for them. But I guess until then, y'all try to have a good day.